Has been the case for the last few years now. And what a task for the Welsh this evening as well. Huge task ahead of them. What was it John Keir said? We have to do the ordinary things extraordinary well, and they really will. Tonga might not have been at their best in their opening game of this World Cup against Papua New Guinea. They'll be looking to get somewhere close to that here tonight. And a real cluster of Tongan fans here as well. The car horns have been hooting outside the ground, trying to resurrect that feeling of Auckland in 2017, one of the most extraordinary sporting events. Never mind rugby league events, when Tonga played against England in the semi-final, when they really did announce themselves on the world stage. Everybody here in red, even him. Well, a real buzz around the atmosphere, a buzz around the stadium as well, ahead of this one. St Helens, one or two of their local favourites in that Tongan side, and now we'll pause for the anthems. It's a wonderfully stirring anthem, isn't it? John Keir, the Welsh coach, hoping that has really inspired his side. There's no lack of passion there either, is there? Terrific stuff. What a noise. What a party atmosphere on the terraces here at St Helens. The fields dressings will be removed, and this next act will be the Sipi Tau. And we love this. We love this. How do the Welsh side respond to this? They faced down the Cook Islanders a week or so. They will stand with respect for this Sipi Tau as well. Well, Kev Brown, back in 2017, you had to face that down as an England player with about 40,000 Tongans joining in.
Yeah, and I'm scared tonight, Dave. It's impressive, isn't it? I think it's, you know, you come here and it's like a party atmosphere, but then all of a sudden you get this confrontation, and that's what they do. And I'm really looking forward to this first set. I think Wales, you know, Ant Walker, we saw Kyle pick Ant Walker out. They've got to take it to this pack. You know, last week John Wilkin in the punditry box said, you know, they missed a few tackles. Tonight they have to fly off the line, especially straight away. Well,
just a quick word on that lineup there. List of host of changes. Tessie New in at fullback, Conrad Hurrell of St Helens in the centres, and Ben Murdoch-Masila, a familiar face to Super League fans, is on the bench. As far as Wales are concerned, in come Kyle Evans, makes his debut on the wing. He wasn't even playing rugby league 12 months ago. Dalton Grant of London Broncos alongside him. Gavin Benyon of Rochdale at prop. Tom Hopkins of Barrow on the bench. This made up, not entirely, but very nearly, of part-time players. That Welsh 17, whereas Tonga are selecting from the NRL and Super League. And what a night for Casey Badger, who becomes the first female referee for a men's World Cup game. We look forward to the day when that is just the norm rather than the exception. But proud night for Casey Badger, and also for Rochelle Tamarua, who's on the touch tonight, one of the touch judges, as is Mike Small, Adam G, the video referee. And Casey's husband has made a last-minute dash, Gavin, to be here tonight. There's Rochelle Tamarua, who we saw for the Wales against the Cook Islands game, I think, last week as well. "13 seconds, one game together." This anti-discrimination stance recognised by the players on the field and by the supporters in the stands. Wonderful sentiment. Wonderfully well supported. Well, the ground shakes whenever Tonga play. The whole rugby league world will shake if Wales were to win tonight. What a task they've got ahead of them here, Kyle.
Yeah, they certainly have, Dave. Good evening to you as well. Good evening to everyone at home. They certainly have got a massive task in front of them, haven't they? The Tongan side have named 6 changes from that 24-18 win just 6 days here ago. Isaiah Katoa being one of those, the 18-year-old halfback. Well, he makes way, doesn't he? And Amon, he gets his chance tonight. Keep out for the partnership between him and Tuilolahea. But it's really up front that they've got a game.
Well, they've got a bit of width here already on that left-hand side, but an important tackle coming in from Kyle Evans. Big night for Kyle Evans, Wakefield player. He's one of the Super League players in the Welsh side, but a new convert from rugby union. It's a tough ask to be up against this Tongan side.
It's a tough ask, but he's an athlete and he's got pace, and he showed there he's got physicality too. On Sio Talakai there, he just cut him down, and that's what they need to do today. I think this, you know, it shows how strong they are in the first set. They've marched them 100 metres, Dave.
Lolohea with the kick, and it's going to be Evans who's targeted out there. There's examination number 2 passed by the winger, and his confidence will be flowing now, no doubt, but that was untidy, and that is the kind of mistake that Wales simply cannot afford to make tonight.
No, they certainly can't. John Keir mentioned how to do all the ordinary things extraordinary well, and Josh Ralph, he just spills the ball, doesn't he? The Australian playing his time, playing club level at the Mounties over in the New South Wales Cup. Well, he's just come up with the first mistake inside 1 minute and 28 seconds. And you'd imagine here with the Tongan, the strike that they've got, centre field, 10 metres away from their own line.
Well, I'm glad John Keir had his hands across his mouth there, because you wouldn't want to lip read there what he was saying, I don't think. Lolohea comes out back. Here it comes to Katoa on this right-hand side, but Wales with tackle 1. Just another 5 to negotiate. Luke, inside ball. Kolomatangi with a big push as well. Here comes Luke from dummy half. Next to his left-hand side. Again, they're looking wide. Again, they've got a bit of width, and Tupu on that far wing, but the scramble from Wales is good. The recovery from Wales is good. They're not quite out of play, but a good big effort from that Welsh defence. Back it comes, Amone. Little skip into the awaiting defenders. Position is established. Early stages, and Tonga already trying to ring the bells here with a kick to the in-goal area. And Antrobus is back just to shuffle it out of play when the threat was coming on strong from Kolomotangi.
And it's not been a great start, obviously the drop ball, but the effort and the resilience. You know, Tuilola here, he's tried a couple of times with a pass and then he puts the kick behind, and it's Antrobus who gets there. So that'll, you know, give them confidence that they can defend their own line.
I mentioned there in the build-up there around Tuilola here, how he's one of the very best over here in the Super League at forcing goal line dropouts. Done that a number of times for Huddersfield, and they were the best at it in the competition. It was through him. Whether that pressure turns into points, we'll find out over the next 4 or 5 tackles here at the 38 metres away from their own line now.
Looking left, driven in, hammered in by Fotueka. Just shuffling it across towards his right-hand side again, and Kolomotangi, but dealt with by that Welsh defence. It's Conrad Hurrell who's in at dummy half. Had a splendid season this last year at St Helens. Fotueka. Held again.
Butler, ball and all.
Look. It's with Amone, and again they're going wide, and again it's with Tupu, but yet again the Welsh defence is able to scramble across.
Yeah, they're just getting across, aren't they? Working hard, shutting that player down.
Junior Amone up to the line and threads it through. It's Law, it's wonderfully weighted. Well, it was a knock-on. There was a gift there for the Tongans. First knock-on was the Welsh.
Wow, Oliver Olds, he's got away with one there. He's dropped the ball clean. And then I think it was Kolomotangi who's coming behind him, and he can't believe his luck, and he drops it too. So this is the 4th goal line set. They've got to defend their own line in the first 5 minutes, Dave.
Well, they made more tackles than any other team in the first round of competition in the World Cup, did the Welsh. And they're already racking up those tackles again here. 26 tackles they've had to make so far. Tonga have made 1. Tells you the difference.
And they'll just do that all night, won't they, the Tongans? They'll just be patient. They'll know that at certain points, if you keep applying this sort of pressure, keep forcing goal line dropouts, that eventually this Wales side they won't be able to contain them.
Fotueka. Now they move it towards that left-hand side. Kafusi taken man and ball by those Welsh defenders, and this time I think the mistake, no, it's a penalty for the ball steal. There's a captain's challenge, but not taken by Dalton Grant.
You just see there as it unfolds, doesn't it? It's Josh Ralph again, all over the ball, all over Kafusi. I think he might have actually dropped that there.
Yeah, that might have been worth the captain's challenge.
They get away with it.
But here they come again. Look at a dummy half once more, and it's thread to Lolohea. Bit of a bounce and a drop. It's gone backwards, I think, but it's out of play anyway, so the Welsh do get the ball, and some mighty relief here as well.
This is massive. This is massive. The turning point in the game. You know, for 5.5 minutes, all they've done is defend, and they've not looked like scoring. So as good as Tonga are and how big favourites they are, the confidence that Elliot Keir and his team will get from that defensive effort will be massive.
And you could tell, Ken, by the way they all celebrated it. As soon as that as soon as that ball got knocked down, all the Welsh players, they turned around and celebrated as if they just scored a try. They're going to have to roll the sleeves up here now and clear their own end.
I was going to say, never mind celebrating, just get some air back in your lungs, fellas. Take the chance. Some big work to do here, Elliot Keir. Spragged to the ground. This is Rhys Williams, having had the last season with Salford, one of the 2 who played in Super League last year, the 2 wingers for Wales tonight, Evans and Williams.
They're smart player. They're just moving the ball around. They know that, you know, this big physical side, they're going to have to move the ball. So they're just having a couple of passing plays to try and beat this defence.
Ollie Olds. Pick up from dummy half again by Antrobus. Kick is high, but shouldn't be too challenging, and it's taken safely enough by Tessie New.
It's this part of the field where they've got to get right for me here, Kev. They've got to go after them, and they've got to try and impose themselves and not allow this Tongan outside backs just to roll and get 10-15 metres each time. Got to be able to aim up.
Second international game for Tessie New tonight, playing at fullback. We remember him, or Great Britain fans might remember him as being a very, very, very late inclusion in the Tongan invitational side that played against Great Britain and beat Great Britain for the first time ever a couple of years ago. That ball is bounced, dropped, and another defensive victory for the Welsh.
Yeah, and it's Dalton Grant. And at the minute, you know, they're just queuing up around the ball, Tonga. There's no shape. So Wales are compressing the defensive line. And, you know, on that occasion, it was Dalton Grant who just seen Takiaho coming on the short lead. And it's fantastic defence.
I'm not quite sure that Tongan's attitude in the first 7 or 8 minutes is quite where it needs to be. They just almost feel like that they just have the right here just to turn up and score points and not be connected together.
Well, Ash said it in the commentary box, didn't he? He said, you know, it's 13 on 13, David v Goliath, and the longer this goes without Tonga making an impression, you know, the more confidence Wales will get.
Well, 8 minutes so far unscathed in terms of the scoreboard, but the Welsh have not had much opportunity to run with the ball inside their opponent's half.
Caleb Aiken there, the guy playing the ball, he was incredible last week. Yes, he didn't quite get that final pass on the money that could have took that game into a draw, but, you know, I think he made over 200 metres for the Welsh, and he was very busy. Keep an eye on him as this game unfolds.
Fossard out of dummy half, a big charge down the middle by Anthony Walker.
It's a good carry, isn't it? Elbows and knees, generating some quick play of the ball.
If you had a line-up and said which one's the prop forward, you'd point to him, wouldn't you? Out it goes, good ball out to that right-hand side, and a chance for Evans now. Had a couple of big defensive efforts, now he's got the chance to add a bit of a run. Wales looking to establish, Ralph offers it back on the inside, and the test now is on the Tongan line for the first time tonight. Matty Fossard out of dummy half, now it's with Ralph. Ralph with a little chip over the top, but it's wonderfully taken. Superbly taken on this near side by Patel.
I'm okay with that. Look where they turned the ball over, and they've got an error here.
He's lost it.
That's a big play.
Well, there might be a captain's challenge. Might be a captain's challenge. They've got 10 seconds. They're all looking at each other, the Tongan players. But the Welsh have picked their position to get possession.
Yeah, the challenge is over. It was a rush-looking kick.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
Katoa just couldn't deal with it, and like Carl said, when you put the ball in the corner like that, you squeeze your line up. That's what you get. The byproduct of it is, you know, turnovers in good field position.
Yeah, he's just lost the ball there, hasn't he? But for the Welsh side, keeping this Tongan team as far away from your own line as possible.
What a chance, what a chance. Aikins tries to step away, but he's smothered. Offside, differential penalty. So they can't kick for goal, even if they chose to. Scrum offence offside, so it'll be back with a tap here, or do they reset the scrum? They've decided to reset the scrum. That's another option that's been brought in the last couple of years, isn't it?
The referee, Gavin Badger, just said there, you know, if they do get off the line again, it'll be a sin bin.
So here we go. Ralph has a dash and a dart. Into dummy half comes Fossard. Tonga are under pressure, and Wales moving it superbly well, and Dalton Grant is over. Well, he's struggling to get it down. It's a real wrestle, so they're going for the square in the air here. Casey Badger is offering this as a video ref, no try on the field.
Yeah, no worries.
So let's hear from our video referee, Adam G.
Let me know, Matt. Video ref to director, can I please see all available angles for grounding? We've got no try live. I'm gonna have to get a close up on this and go nice and slow, please. Thank you. Okay, so the ball is above the leg at that point and up. Yeah, just keep playing through, It's still up on that angle. And still, now I lose sight. Can I just see the other side as well, please, at the same speed? Yeah, still got no change from that angle. Just one more if you've got it from the far side. No, that's always up there. Always up. No, I can still see it's always up there. He's held there. Thank you, I've seen all available angles to make my decision.
Well, it's another of those, just as the player. Dalton Grant walked back shaking his head.
Yeah, too honest.
And they're already set up for playing the ball 10 metres back, no try.
Yeah, terrific tackle there from Tessie New and Talato Amone. And it had to be as well, didn't it? Because Grant was almost there. denied inches.
Here they come again, another attacking opportunity for the Welsh. Chester Butler carrying and carrying, trying to get those extra yards, but he's been wrestled down and slowed down. Tongan line sets again, is ready. Here comes Ralph. Dummies to a couple, throws it back to Olds. Now they're looking to exploit the left. Keir to Williams. Williams, just a wall of red coming across. Into dummy half goes Keir. Olds waits for the pass and takes. Here comes Ralph. Now it's the big fella, Anthony Walker. Last play. Fossard comes left. Olds now spins it out. Keir with a twist. It's going to be dragged down. Just short. Comes up with nothing, but at least the Tongans now, from a Welsh point of view, have to start more or less on their own line.
Yeah, and they're very similar shapes to what Papua New Guinea threw at Tonga last week, and they struggle with them on the edges. We saw a couple of tries chalked off. Elliot Keir goes close there. Just to back up what Kyle said before, though, they're leaving the ball in the perfect position, you know, to make it really difficult for this big outfit.
It's interesting. There was a lot of traffic, wasn't it, the Papua New Guinean side, threw down at that Tongan right edge. Well, Wales have explored both edges now, and you know, even on that last set there, I just thought the cover and defence there from Tonga was pretty impressive, and they're going to have to throw a little bit more at them to get any joy.
Well, the way Tonga started, you thought it could be one of those nights for the Welsh, but they couldn't take advantage of those opening 5 minutes, more or less camped on the Welsh line. Wales have thrown a few stones their way, and that's a kick that's going to go out of play. Yes, just, I tell you what.
A tackle for kick though as well, isn't it? So that's a little win, I reckon, for Wales.
Katoa wasn't going to give that up, was he?
Oh, yeah.
So Wales start from here, and it's a 7 tackle count, of course, when the ball goes dead behind the dead ball line. A lot of new viewers to rugby league. When that happens, instead of having 6 tackles, you're giving an extra tackle. So Wales with a chance to prosper here.
I think the fatigue's just setting a little bit now for Wales. They've lost that little bit of shape that they had at the start of the game. You know, they're just trying to challenge up the middle of the field.
Yeah, I just think for this Welsh side that I don't think they'll be too concerned about shape. A little offload like that will certainly help.
Here's Olds. Thought about the big Harbour Bridge pass maybe to the man on the left, Rhys Williams, but decided more conservatively to go inside. But now the Welsh begin to play with a little bit of flair and dynamism, but tackle by Katoa. It's with Aikins, and eventually into the hands of Anthony Walker, and a penalty here for the high shot. Matty Fossard's talking about let's carry on, never mind a 2, let's carry on.
100%. What Anthony Walker has is an incredible late bit of footwork. You know, he's not quite your typical sort of modern day player. Almost barrel-shaped like, isn't he? But he's that little bit of footwork there gets him that penalty, and Tonga are under pressure here against once more.
Terrific from the Welsh in the early stages. Walker again, pushing on. Talking about the early stages, getting towards the middling stages, isn't it? 14 minutes played. Fossard. Ralph with a pass. It's untidy. Dropped on by Grant. No more than that. Just lose a bit of momentum as a result. So back to the middle they come and look. Ralph again with a short pass, just trying to get Bennion to straighten things up. Fossard. Here's Ralph. Good meat in defence from Luke. And here they go with the last play. Last play comes with Olds. Olds throws it over the top, but too far ahead. Hand up from him. Farina, apology.
No, look, the play there was along the floor, wasn't it? Just thread it through the first line of defence there, making a lottery, a contest, if you like. Not perhaps just throw the ball over to touch. Not the best play there by Olds.
There's just been a couple of times that they've just lacked a little bit of execution. I think the plan, what John Keir's come up with here, that they're clearly going to this left edge of Wales' attack. And at the minute, it looks very dangerous. Elliot Keir and Rhys Williams not far off getting away on this edge.
John Keir would have been hoping against hope that they connected there, but you can see the frustration. 15 minutes played. There's
That's a good shot.
Whoa, Welsh have it back again here. Here's Ralph. Back on the inside. Oh, he's through. He's through. Kyle Evans is underneath the sticks. 12 months months ago he'd never played rugby league. Now he's scoring a World Cup try for the Welsh Rugby League side, and against the odds, Wales have the lead.
Wow, and they deserve it, and that man deserves it, Kyle Evans. And not just because he's been running the ball well, but more because he's defending really well. He hits Talakai with everything. That's probably the third time, you know, he's done that. He hits him, he makes the ball spill. See on the replay now, he hits him with everything he's got, but then has the presence of mind to get himself off the floor and back up Ralph, but also have the ability to go the length, 50 metres or so, and score the try. Fantastic play.
No, brilliant play, Kev, you're dead right. And that presence of mind to support Ralph there and race away. I mentioned about 8 minutes ago that I think there was too many signs in there for me telling me that Tonga weren't quite where they needed to be, and the last 8 minutes has been awful from them. Penalties and errors have contributed to this picture that we're seeing here, and Kyle Evans puts the ball down right under the post, and it's Tonga that they're behind at the moment. 4 points to nil, kick to come.
If you are Wales, dare to believe. Long time to go. 63 very long minutes, but 17 down. So far, so good. This should be 6-0 in just a moment. Matty Fossard takes off the disguise when he kicks goals. Normally plays with a scrum cap on his head. And he will make absolutely sure. And the Welsh are leading here by 6 points to nil.
And watch for next time that Tonga get the ball. I'm not sure they'll be shifting it out wide. No. They'll be queuing up behind the ruck and flying off the back fence. I'm going to have to wear a few, but yeah, they get what they deserve, though, Wales.
Sure do. I just feel that Tonga have been a bit laboured, almost a bit of arrogance about them, that they can just turn up here today and win. And expect the next set from Tonga to be roll the sleeves up hard, direct carries. Like this one from Anthony Walker. He's been incredible this opening.
Did he play with him here at St Helens? Because he played with him here.
Yeah, early on.
It's a while back, isn't it? He's at Bradford these days. We mentioned it in the last game that he had that brain condition that he'd had since birth, which ruled him out of the last World Cup at the last moment, and he had to retire from rugby league for a while that was sorted out. But he is now fully fit, he's fully healthy, able to play, and he's making up for lost time.
One man who will be enjoying this on his birthday, Jonathan Davis.
Yes.
60 today.
Yep. It's a landmark birthday. We won't embarrass him by saying how old, 70. But he probably will be on his second glass of red wine by now, I would have thought. Happy birthday, Chippy. Doesn't look 70, does he? But he does well. Fossard out of dummy half. Kicked away by Olds. Taken safely enough by Tessie New.
Tonga looked spent. They were all bent over and, you know, blowing, you know, for the big ones here and trying to get some energy back. But there's zero shape, there's zero enthusiasm to get back. Takiao still, you know, the captain is still in the Wales line.
Look, Kev, there's no doubt there's enough quality in this Tongan side to flip this game on its head in the blink of an eye. But at the minute, you can't just switch that sort of concentration, that energy level just on. It's been chipped away at, and it's largely down to the Welsh. The defensive actions and their ability to carry the ball has been awesome tonight so far.
Well, they're playing downfield here at the moment, the Tongans, 10 metres inside that Welsh half, and out of dummy half. It's taken by Sonny Luke, the Penrith Panther. Finds himself tackle on the fifth. Some big waves of enthusiasm for the Welsh on the terraces. That's a high kick. This is an accidental offside at the least, I would have thought. Yeah, knock on, accidental offside. Either way, same outcome. And the Tongans will get it back again.
Yeah, the left edge just needed to help out a bit more, didn't he? Williams does a good job on Conrad Hurrell, but there's too many red shirts around that for me, and it puts an awful lot of pressure on Caleb Akins. Having said that, he does need to take that one in, Kev.
He does, and they're under pressure again with a scrum midfield. We've seen they defended it a couple of times. They've got so much strike, this Tongan side. You don't want to be giving this field position too much.
He had a scrum early on, didn't he, in this position, and he came to the right-hand side, and Rhys Williams and the rest of his left-hand edge defended it well. It looks like they're going to go and have a crack on the other side now.
Or is it a dummy play? Lola here. No, it is. They are going to that left-hand side, trying to create the numbers, and they've got the numbers, and from that scrum play, Daniel Tupou will skid over in at the corner. They just got the win that the Welsh couldn't match. And Tupou spoiled the local party, but set up the celebrations amongst their many fans here tonight.
Oh, what a try it was as well from Tupou off the base of the scrum. That try makes him equal with Sam Moa's Tongan try-scoring record, 16 there. We saw the error from Caleb Aiken, and it was from this resulting scrum where the play was put on through a moan. They just do a little shift out wide there, and those two combine, and it's Tupou who goes over, and it brings this game back to 4 points to 6. You just see there that catch and pass. He gets on the outside of Kyle Evans as Tupou, and he's far too good not to be able to finish that this time. He threatened earlier, but they put bodies and numbers around him, and on that occasion he just gets too much space on the outside, and it's a try out of nothing for them.
That's what they've got. Given the opportunities, that was almost served up on a plate from Wales. Like you said, Aikens, fantastic fullback, had a great season with the Lee Leopards, and yeah, unfortunately he couldn't take that one in.
Still takes some getting used to that Lee Leopards, doesn't it?
Ah, but good on them. They're having a crack. Good on them. You know, they're trying to make things happen at Lee. I know one or two people on social media, by all accounts, have been taking a rise, but they're back in Super League and they aim to have a go.
Talking about Super League, this man here kicking the ball, Takiaho, two-time grand final winner with the Roosters back in 2018 and 19. He signed a 2-year deal over at the Catalan Dragons in Perpignan. We get to see more of him.
It's a tough start right from the touchline. Captain tonight in the absence of Jason Tomalolo, missing because of his suspension from the NRL, and Takiaho has put it wide. So the Welsh still have a lead, albeit by only 2 points now.
He was off this try, wasn't it there, Tupou, just gliding away. We've yet to see him in full flight, but like Kev said there, if you give him a little bit of space, he's just got so much quality about him. He's heading, of course, next season will be his 12th over in the NRL with the Sydney Roosters club.
One club man, isn't he? One club man.
Very rare over there these days, isn't it?
3 times a grand final winner. He's a veteran as well of the 2013. The Tongan national team came to prominence in 2017, didn't it? But he was with them in 2013. He's been right here, right from the start of that rise that they've been putting on. So a job here for the Welsh to try and restrict a few yards, because Tonga will come out flying at them now. Luke going left. Kolomoratengi up and plays. The other game in this group, by the way, or the second great game in this group, PNG against the Cook Islands, take place tomorrow.
It's good defence, that, isn't it? Look how tight Fozzard is on Takiaho. Kafusi now rolls forward, has just crossed over the halfway line here, the Tongans.
There's been a shift, hasn't there, Kyle, now? They're going direct. Well, that's the 5th direct carry in this set.
But look how easy it is for them.
Well, that's the strength.
Potueka with a carry in, Lolahea with a kick high. Where's this coming down? Caught safely by Evans.
He's had a great start.
Penalty for the Welsh.
He has, but look, knowing Christian Wolf, he's not going to be best pleased around this start. You know, that's a penalty there for offside. He has to get his timing better there, does the young half a moan. He gives away a penalty, and it's just a pressure release, isn't it? You almost have an opportunity there, set after points, to really put your foot on the throat almost and really go after this Welsh side. Well, they've just let them out with a penalty. As they'll tap this ball and cross over 35 metres now without having to exert any energy whatsoever. There's a little shift coming on here as well.
Dan Fleming on for the bench. Fossard out of dummy half. First meeting between these two sides here tonight ever as well. Never played each other before at international level. Reach and a take by Benyon.
And they're sticking to the plan. There's a lot of lateral ball movement. You know, they're not going too far forward, but they're making this defensive line work so hard, you know, to change direction again, moving it wide.
Well, just as a middle, Kev, when you've got people or a team, if you like, moving that ball around, you have to track with it all the time. And you know, if it gets broken down, you have to travel and get round the corner, like we're seeing some of these pitches here now. As an offload away from Fozzard.
Great offload. Here comes Fozzard with a scamper.
And it just robs energy out of you all the time. There's a penalty again. That must be 4 penalties now that they've conceded, Tonga.
I think they've got an opportunity now, Wales. They've done everything right and they've got themselves in this position, but I think they need to, you know, try and get it, like Elliot Key is saying there, let's roll forward.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no
use
point
this
in taking
opportunity.
two.
It might be the best opportunity to get.
Yeah.
Well, it was a one-on-one ball steal, but it was after the tackle was complete, wasn't it? That's why the penalty has gone the way of Wales. And Antrobus will lead the charge.
That's another good carry from him, you know.
Here's Fossard. Olds. Now Ralph. Again making numbers. Akins tries to go against the grain of that defence, but they were there, they were sharp, they were ready. This time it's going to be Burke, the loose forward, with a big heavy charge, and another offload from him. Fossard with a dummy. The Tongans are hanging on here. They're being tested by this Welsh side here. Back to Ralph. Ralph now. Little skipping run from him, but to no avail. Too many red shirts in his way. Fossard waits at dummy half. Olds now will take it on. Antrobus just tries the muscular route.
Keep your eye on Fossard here, near the line. He likes a crack.
Last play. Fossard straight into the arms of Koloamatangi. It was a dumb play, really, because the Tongans were ready for that.
Yeah. Knowing Fossard there, he likes a run.
Oh,
there's a bit of afters here.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
There's a bit more of a push. Strongest push he's out seen.
Andrew puts his head nearly fell off there.
Matty Fossard looked around as though his hat was covering his eyes then, didn't he? He couldn't see who pushed him over. There we go. A little bit of a nibble. Another little bit of a nibble.
Well, that's a penalty, isn't it?
Yeah.
That has to be a witness ball.
Definitely.
And they've lost the plot at the minute. The Tongans, you know, they're rattled here.
Oh.
Got away with one there.
Yeah. Still a tough ask here for the Tongans to try and get off their own line, isn't it? Still got a job to do. Just send the big men in, if in doubt. Talakai with a big hit forward.
It's a better carry, isn't it?
Making progress again. Welsh working hard in defence for Noah Blake. The New Zealand Warriors man, the prop forward, dragged down. 6 again. Another. I think that's the first restart of the night, isn't it? As Fotueka takes it in. So 6 tackles, the first of those just inside the Welsh half. So Tonga have been helped along downfield. Kafusi. And these are big yards now. They've gone right from their own line, and without having to give the ball up, find themselves attacking. A little bit of a juggle. Katoa, if he'd held it, would have been favourite to score, but he didn't.
Well, it was
so
on.
He doesn't.
It was on, and it was a great pass. He was testing who came up with the pass, and Katoa. It would have been a great foot race with Rhys Williams and Katoa. But on that set, though, I think it was 8 or 9 carries straight up the middle of the field after the set restart. And that's when Tonga look really good, when they just queue up and go as hard as they can. You know, I'm not sure there's a team in this competition who can live with that.
And what that does, though, Kev, doesn't it? You know, when they're just going in between the scrum lines, that unit of the Welsh defence there almost tightens up, and the space ends up being out wide, and it nearly got exposed there.
Well, we're enjoying this, aren't we? It's good night, this.
Well, who would have thought this, though?
Well, World Cup delivers these kinds of treats. You look ahead at a World Cup and you think, oh, that'd be a good game, that'd be a good game. And there's always one that springs up and you go, wow, more than one. There's usually 2 and 3.
30 minutes in and Wales leading 6-4. There's not too many who'd have thought of that.
Well, they're enjoying themselves. They are doing the ordinary things extraordinarily well, as required by John Keir.
Kyle Evans has been sensational in this first half.
Here's Rhys Williams on the other side.
So you know they've got carry, just 3 outside backs there. 50 metres gained.
Fossard's going to have a go, skips it away. Ralph drops it back on the inside. This is taken on by Fleming. 15 away, last play. They're going to search down that right side this time. Aikins again tries to step, but 3 or 4 times they've given up possession, only 5 yards or less from that Tongan line.
That's perfect, isn't it? John Key will be very pleased with that. The challenge is for them this time is have a cleaner set, don't give away a 6 again or a penalty. What Wales did there, though, was incredible. They almost done a Tonga to Tonga, didn't they? Just rolled down the field, had them on the back foot. Just needed a little bit more quality on the end of that set, Kev.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're looking at putting the ball on the toe. At the minute, they're just looking at running into corners. I think it's working for them because all these big men have to track over and carry the ball. It gives them a minute. And John Keir's game plan at the minute is okay, but the problem is there's a couple of fresh faces coming on, one of them being Big Ben Murdoch-Masila.
Yeah, well, Super League fans in this country are very aware of his wrecking ball capabilities.
Taller there, introduced to the field. Big hard carry.
Lolohea.
That's good kick pressure, though. That kick pressure forces him into that kick. Can't quite put it where he wants it. Caleb Akins is there to deal with it. A much more easier kick for him to deal with on that occasion. I just don't think this Welsh side can sit back and hold on, being 2 points in front. I just feel that next time they get down there, they have to find a little kick or something to make it into a contest, because they can't just keep continually turning the ball over in the corner, because there's just too much quality out there for Tonga tonight, although they're not quite where they need to be at the moment.
It's another great carry.
Here's Burke. About eight short of the halfway. Fossard picks up dummy half again. Looking left. Inside for Antrobus. Some big fellas he's hitting against. It's like running through a brick wall. Have a go at running through a brick wall sometime, and you might realise what these rugby league players do on occasions, especially when the brick wall starts fighting back. Here's Tessie New from full-back. Bit of a slip and a bump from Ollie Olds. So Lolohea picks up at dummy half. Another set of 6, but it's early in the count, so it's not too punishing on the Welsh.
That's a great tackle, Elliot Keir on David Fifita.
7.5 minutes remaining. Sonny Luke at dummy half. Acrobatically taken in again. David Fifita's on the field. Here's the information I've just been getting. I think he's out there, is he? I'm having a look. Can't see him. Yes, he is. He's down here. Well, he didn't get many minutes in the first game, or as many minutes as he might have hoped for against Papua New Guinea, but he might get a few more here, and he's getting a touch here. Now there's a bit of a trouble. Fifita has to take the tackle. Last play. Luke. Lolohea, run and grabs and passes. It's a difficult pass. It was well taken by Katoa. These are good hands, terrific hands from Tonga. Kick from Luke. Kyle Evans is isolated, but what a take! What a fantastic take!
Kyle Evans.
How good's he?
He's been sensational
awesome
tonight.
But that's when they look dangerous. When they go into that frenzy and they start offloading the ball. Well, that's what they did in the 2017 World Cup when they did that comeback, and that's what they did last week against Papua New Guinea to win the game. When they throw the ball out and start moving like that, it's so hard to defend against.
Well, can they dare to dream to lead this game at half-time? That's the first job. They were beating the Cook Islands, weren't they? I think it was 12-8 at half-time in that game. Can they hang on to keep the lead here? Tonga will respond, no doubt about that. They'll come out firing in the second half. They might just hit the fire button before the half-time hooter sounds, but Fossard with a kick.
That's a good kick, isn't it? Out of 9. Just trying to turn Tupu around, does so.
Tupu brings it back. Welsh chase is good enough. Restricted there to that 30-metre mark. That's where Tonga will start this set. Lolohea. Good step back on the inside from Katoa, and he's got support from Lolohea, who's got the step. Atkins does just enough to stop him initially, but it's moved on again to Mew. Oh, and he's passed to the wrong man.
What
he's
desperation.
Passed to the wrong man.
Kev nailed it there, wasn't it? Just pure desperation. A will and want to keep turning up. You know, defending doesn't have to be pretty all the time. You've just somehow got to put yourself in the picture. And Tessie New there with a little flick pass. Well, it falls into the arms of a Welsh player just chasing hard back. And that is a brilliant, brilliant defensive set there from Wales. Granted, it wasn't perfect, but the desire to cover for one another.
And they're starting to believe. This crowd is starting to get involved now.
You're dead right.
Straight after that, they're cheering Wales. There's a big one if Caleb Aitken can't get up. It's a fantastic ankle tap originally. Here we see it now on Tuilola here, but he catches one in the face.
Well, just look at the bodies, yeah. They're covering from everywhere, like you said, Kev. Tessie knew there, gets in between holes, I think it is. But just the willingness to hang on to the ball. And another player there in Butler just turning up, and that's a real John Keir-like first half performance. Nailing all the ugly details of the game. And ultimately, they're winning the scoreboard at the moment. With 6 minutes to go before the half-time. He'll be pleased.
He's getting excited.
Fingers will be going.
The fingers, yeah, watch for the fingers. When the fingers are going, we know he's excited. He's occupying them with opening his bottle of water.
Delighted, Warney, what a start. 34 minutes, no one would have thought it'd be Wales in front.
That's a nice look. It's a beautiful look, that one. But he'll stay on the field.
But apart from that little line break there, I'm just thinking back. I think physically Wales have matched Tonga. You know, I don't recall any players getting bumped off and clutching at straws and getting left on the ground. I think physically they've matched Tonga, and that's something that John Keir and his men can really hang his hat on. Christian Wolf, of course, he needs to address one or two things for sure.
Jason Tomalolo sitting next to his coach there, itching to get involved in World Cup action at some stage. He's been denied because of that suspension from back in the NRL thus far.
Oh, it's an error there.
That's a knock-on. Good spot by the referee.
Just wonder if that's going to hurt this side. They've done so well at keeping.
Well, we've got a captain's challenge. Got a captain's challenge.
Yep. No worries. Video ref to director, we've got a captain's challenge by Wales. I just need available angles nice and slow on the ball here. Live decision of a knock-on. We'll just have that one more time. I just want to see if he actually maintains possession with his hand under the ball. Yeah, that's right, just play this through. No, so he's changed hands there and the ball's hit the ground. There's a knock-on by Wales. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Yeah, right decision. I think he was trying to say that the ball was being held against his head, which it was, but it had already hit the ground there, hadn't it, Connor Davis?
Yeah, and he wants to challenge again. He's still going.
Oh, he's lost it now. No, it's gone. But this is a huge set, isn't it? In the context of this half.
Oh, he's having a look. He's having a look. He's not convinced. But it's gone now, and that is the end of any challenges for Wales tonight. They've lost their ability for a captain's challenge. Each team's got one apiece. If they get it right, they get another go, but Wales won't get another go now. And here comes Conrad Herald. And the Tongans looking to put themselves in the lead before the half-time hooter sounds. 4.5 minutes of the first half remaining. Look at a dummy half. They're smashed forward again as they try and pick up ground. Murdoch Masilla up to his feet and plays it. Now they go left. Now they've got the numbers again. Back on the inside comes Talakai.
Good contact as well there.
Welsh defence is working overtime here. It has to do. Hanging on for dear life. As Tonga search towards this right-hand side. The big burst through again. Fafita is short. Is he? Well, we'll have to have the video ref to have a look at this.
Yeah, Case. Yep.
Try on the field. So let's hear from the video referee again here, Adam G.
Yep. Video ref to director. Got a live decision of try. Going to need to see whether the ball reaches the goal line and see if there's momentum in the tackle as well, please. Okay, yeah, just pause there. I can see the ball on the goal line, and that was all momentum. The ball was never promoted. I've seen all available angles to make my decision. Thank you.
Yeah, nice quick decision.
Yeah, and it was good defence initially, and it was almost good defence on a big man, David Fafita, but Tuilola here, just being a smart ball player like he is, just went short when all the numbers and the space looked like it was out wide. He just used that, you know, juggernaut of a man, David Fifita. He goes short, he hits his inside shoulder there of Ollie Old, and he just can't hold him up. Or even in where the help, you know, the hooker comes in and tries to help him, but he's just so big and powerful. Once he gets his nose through, there's only one winner.
Well, he's a potential star of this tournament, isn't he, as it goes into its deeper stages. David Fifita yet to have a start in the opening 2 matches, but he's making an impression when he comes on. Tuilola here with the conversion attempt. This would take Tonga into double figures. Lola here just settling himself here. And will put it between the sticks. The flags behind those posts are waving. Tonga have the lead for the very first time.
Yeah, well, they do so well, don't they? The Welsh players, they get forward 10 metres there, but Oldsey just gets interested in Tessinu out the back. He just rocks slightly to the left-hand side, and it's at that moment, that fraction of a second there, that short pass from Tuilola here to that man, David Fifita, and Oldsey can't rescue it, he can't recover it, and he just has enough about him to slide over the line and give him his first try in Tongan colours.
Well, it isn't exactly dam bursting here on that moment, but the dam has certainly got a few cracks in it now, haven't
You just felt that error there, though, didn't you? You just felt that it was going to be costly.
Yeah, and a time to score as well, just before the break. Had the Welsh been able to go in with a lead at half-time, completely different to going in just behind, but knowing that Tonga are going to come flying at them in the second half.
Yeah, and this is a good response, though. They're getting off the line and they're sticking to what's helped them and what's proved that works in this first half so well. You know, they're getting off the line and getting the bodies down and hitting hard. That's a great sign after conceding points.
Well, look, just for our viewers at home there, you know, the Tongan side are the ones who have missed 22 tackles and Wales only 13. You know, I've been mentioned earlier how well I've been impressed with little actions like this, just winning that sort of floor, getting them on the back, just allowing the play of the ball to be dictated in terms of the Welsh. Talakai now out wide.
Talakai pulled down. New at dummy half. Amone. Well, the hair offloads again to Fifita. Pick up on a scampi here by Sonny Luke. Offloads before the tackle is successful to Tola. Luke stands and waits. This is dangerous for Wales. Very dangerous for Wales. Kolomoatangi, 2 tries in the space of about a minute, has ripped the heart out of this Welsh resistance. Tonga have stamped their name on this first half now.
It was a disappointing, wasn't it, end to the half. 2 tries in quick succession, and it all starts with Caleb Aiken. He gets his numbers all wrong. He sticks 5 actually on the short side, and when you're comfortable at one side of the field, well, there's bigger spaces elsewhere, and it's just that line there on the outside of Josh Ralph from Kolomoatangi. And it's disappointing, isn't it? John Keir and the rest of his troops will be so disappointed with that. Grant Dalton comes rushing in. He has to because he's shorter numbers. And Josh Ralph gets caught ball watching there. And Kolomoatangi just slides over for a try. And the man who came through the South Sydney system has scored tonight in Tongan colours. And it's given this Tongan side a quite a flattering 14, possibly 16 point to 6 lead at the half-time break.
Lola Hare steps forward and makes no mistake with that kick. So 16 points to 6. Just a matter of what seems moments ago. The Welsh were leading by 6 points to 4. And at half-time, it is Tonga with a commanding lead.
Yeah, it's a beautiful bit of ball movement, isn't it? He just changes his line ever so slightly. Just Kolomoatangi gets on the outside of Josh Ralph, the half-back for Wales, and I mean, Dalton Grant rushing up. The space was there, it was created, wasn't it? And it was seen and executed so well.
So big effort by the Welsh, but it is Tonga who have that lead by 16 points to 6. Let's hear from the Welsh captain.
Well, that was the action on Sunday at Rugby League World Cup 2021. Let's look at the two tables then, Group A and Group C. Group A first, that's England's group, of course. Samoa with the comprehensive win over Greece. They are now sitting in second place. Samoa and France will play in their final group match for a place in the quarter-finals. And Group C, New Zealand top with 2 wins out of 2. Lebanon with the win over Ireland tomorrow. Yesterday, I should say, they play Jamaica in their final game. They are now favourites, Lebanon, to reach the quarter-finals. Ireland must face the Kiwis. The Tongan fans in good voice here at St Helens. Their team have the lead. It's been a tough first half, though, against Wales. Both teams are out, so let's go to our commentary team for the second half, led by Dave Woods.
Well, if anyone can deliver the kind of half-time team talk to lift a side in this kind of occasion, you'd have thought John Keir can. But is this a task beyond them now, Kyle, or have Wales got a hope here? Have to score next, don't they?
Well, look, there's always hope, isn't there? But, you know, I just really feel that the next try that's scored is going to make or break this game. You know, for the Tongans, if they can get over again, you'd imagine, you know, we'll get to see a bit more of what they're all about. They've underperformed in that first 40 minutes. John Wilkin mentioned it as well during the half-time break there. They've been way off their standards, and Christian Wolf would have certainly, you know, got a few 1 or 2 pointers into them of how they approach this second half, and defensive actions like that already begin to set the tone.
And former England international Kevin Brown, how do you see this second half going now?
Well, it's important they don't try and chase points initially. I think they've just got to do exactly what they did for 35 minutes of the first half, and that's just compete hard. I completely agree with what Wilco said. They've come here a little bit underdone tonight, Tonga. You know, it's took them 35 minutes to click into gear. So they just need to keep testing that mentality, test that will, and take it toe-to-toe like they did in the first half.
Pick up by Williams out of dummy half. Let's, well, I was going to say let's get out to Damien, but let's see how this develops just for the moment, because the Welsh are trying to keep it alive here, trying to just ask a few questions in these early stages. I think Ben Murdoch-Masila wanted his hand released. There's the kick downfield. It's straightforward catch for Tupou. So Damien Johnson, what word from the dressing rooms at half-time?
Well, the Wales coach John Keir has urged his team to show resilience, believe once again, he said. We had them on the ropes for spells, cut out the yardage errors and believe. Christian Wolf stressing 3 things: discipline, discipline and discipline. Not happy with lapses in that area. Hold the ball, we have a chance. We saw it spilled so often in the first half. So, yeah, both coaches delivering stirring half-time talks, I understand.
Sounds like he's turning into politics there, doesn't he? Discipline, discipline, discipline. Anyway.
Well, what he means by that, Dave, is with and without the ball, you know, too many errors, too many cheap penalties, and just not quite nailing what they need to do.
A lot of hair, swiftly up to the line, trying to get them going again here, but the Welsh hanging on. Last play in this set. Sonny Luke, dummy half, goes down that right-hand side. Involved was new, but the Welsh defence really good, really good.
Rhys Williams and Elliot Keir on David Fifita. He gets under the ball. It's Elliot Keir, the captain of the side. Terrific defence.
That's a huge tackle on such a big man, so devastating and dangerous near the line. Elliot Keir there gets underneath him and forces the mistake over into touch. And just to paint a bit of a contrast between these two sides, Elliot Keir, the captain for Wales, he's a part-time, well, he's a fireman, isn't he? And on the other side, you've got Taki Aho, 2-time grand final winner in the NRL.
It's a great story. We kind of half told the story last week. Elliot Keir comes from the Whitchurch High School, and that school has produced Sam Warburton, who was fairly recently captain of the Welsh Rugby Union team, Gareth Bale, who's the captain of the Wales football team, and Elliot Keir, who's the captain of the Wales Rugby League team. I mean, that's
brilliant, isn't
that's
it?
incredible.
Yeah.
You're a school teacher, aren't you, these days, Carl? You're going to be inspiring folks like that?
Well, hopefully.
Geraint Thomas went there as well, apparently.
That's another big carry there, isn't it? On a tackle 4 as well. Just gives this Welsh side something to kick off, as Fozzard needed a bit more on that. Tupou returns.
Daniel Tupou. Kyle Amor quick to change the subject when it comes to inspiring young kids at school. Sure you do. Sure you do. Here's Amoni at a dummy half. Firing forward comes Katoa. Sione Katoa, the Cronulla Shark wingman. It's most of last season with a pectoral injury, so looking to fill his boots in this World Cup.
An error there, isn't it?
Referee's having a good look. Big effort down the middle from Ben Murdoch-Masila, who used to get them off their seats when he was playing at Salford and Warrington. And now they go to that right-hand side. Welsh defence cutting them down. Fafita. Now they move it back towards the middle again. I think there's another set here, is there? Yes, there is. The referee was waving. The hooter confirms it as Fafita's put down. So this is danger for the Welsh line, because they've got to put in 5 more tackles. And Tonga are in the mood now. 2 quick-fire tries before the break. Looking for a good early start. Oh, good tackle. Big effort from Kyle Evans again. What a game Kyle Evans is having.
Well, he's having the game of his life at the moment. What a super piece of wing play that was. So just jamming aggressively on Talakai. Just that left shoulder there, bang, gets that into him and forces the error.
The special thing that he's done there, Kyle, he's waited, he's been patient, and as soon as he's come into his space, look, he changes his body angle and whacks him with everything he's got with that left shoulder and comes up with the error.
It's a terrific tackle, wasn't it, on the Cronulla Shark centre. It's that left shoulder right under the ball, textbook tackle if you like.
And the Welsh needed that. They could not afford to concede so early. John Keir watching on. England head coach in 2000. He's been the French head coach as well. He's now the Wales head coach. Best remembered for that 1998 Challenge Cup win by Sheffield over Wigan.
John Keir, a coach of over 550 games, just the experience, the wealth and depth of knowledge on the man.
Well, struggling to get out here. Dalton Grant carries it. Trying to get a purchase forward again as it's picked up by Elliot Keir at a dummy half, but it's sideways rather than forward as the Tongans come forward. That big resistance, those big bodies. Thou shalt not pass.
Kafusi.
It's not just a wall, it's a moving wall now, Dave.
Last play, kick needed, a little bit of kick pressure. Easily taken by Tupou.
And that's the sort of defensive set that Christian Wolf would have wanted right from the start. You know, putting you on the back foot, going after you with aggressive actions, and the trade-off is this. Talakai on player 2 now, crossing over the 40-metre line of the Welsh territory. That's a much more better defensive and a more Christian Wolf-like side.
Ramping it up now, ramping it up as Conrad Hurrell joins the charge. 25 away. Sonny Luke back on the inside again. Totola spun to the ground. Sonny Luke moves into dummy half, tackles in the bag, loads of them here. They can try and work the Welsh out on the edges, or they can try go back down the middle through Tessie Muir, who scores. He somehow found a way through like a threaded needle. Somehow he found the line, and Tonga start the second half in impressive style.
Yeah, and it was just footwork by Tessie. He's been dangerous all night. On the previous occasion he went out wide, and it's very similar to the try where we saw Fafita go through the inside shoulder. There's a lot of noise and a lot of deception on the left-hand edge, a lot of bodies, but he just looks up and he sees the sliding defence. He goes left foot, he beats a couple, and then still has the ability to get through Dan Fleming and Curtis Davies to score the try. Fantastic individual skill by Tessinu.
Brilliant stuff from the 21-year-old Brisbane Bronco. Kev Brown mentioned it, there was just a number of, almost a pile of human rubble left behind him. The little drop of the shoulder, the show and go. It just leaves them all for dead, doesn't it? Joe Burke there, losing his shoulder. It's a terrific finish. And you just feel that scores a real dent now in this Welsh hope.
So Tuilolo here. One of their real heroes in 2017 came to prominence, didn't he? He actually, on the back of that, moved to Leeds, and he kind of fizzled a little at Leeds, and he didn't really produce as we expected. But then he moved to Salford, and suddenly he's reinvented again. He's been brilliant at Salford and then Huddersfield since.
Under the guidance of Ian Watson as well.
There's a kick.
Salford Red
Over it
Devil
goes.
coach.
22 points to 6. Tessie News join the scoring party.
Well, just watch this defence here. There's a whole host of numbers, isn't there? Tessie New rolls that left to right pass there, steps hard off his left foot, gets in between Butler and Fozzard, and has enough about him, enough class about him to finish the try as well.
What you can't question him for is effort. The Welsh, you know, that's probably over effort.
Yeah.
The slide, you know, the chase into the corner. They've had it a couple of times where Evans hit Talakai, so they're chasing, but they've overworked.
So, here we go again. Welsh with the restart. Tonga now will be looking to find their rhythm, won't they? They perhaps were lucky to beat Papua New Guinea in the first game. In the first half of big spells here tonight, they struggled to get on top of their opponents. As one of the pre-tournament favourites, they'll be looking to make a mark now, won't they?
Yeah, they have to start improving from here on in, don't they? They've only got one more game after this, of course, against the Cook Islands. And there's a penalty here now coming out of their own end for Totola, a crusher-like tackle on him. But going back to that last try, the thing that Christian Wolf would have been really pleased about, we're just seeing here that crusher. I think it's Grant who gets his body all wrong. There's not an awful lot he can do there, but you do have to release the head and allow it to pop it through. Totola as he's trying to turn.
The amount of time he stays on him as well. He's still cranking that neck there. He's got to roll away.
It's a it's a penalty, isn't it?
Totola struggling.
But going back to that set led by Kafusi, those defensive actions that ultimately put them in the field position, then to have that good ball attack to score that try, that's more like it. You know, they certainly can't dip the toe in anymore going forward. I'm pretty sure they won't either.
What we do know about this Tongan side is that if they do crank themselves into top gear, then there will be some real wow moments in this second half from them. The Welsh have to guard against that. Can't let this blow out from a case of personal pride. Here
brilliant.
they come. Here comes Tipo cutting back in, but again, look how many Welsh players in the frame there. Four of them across to cut that down. Sonny Luke back now with Amoni. Lolohea. Now they went left, now they go right. Here's New.
Good defence again.
Welsh there in numbers once more. Fafita's going to have a go. The big, bulky powerhouse. 5 gone, last play. Lolohea, little double pump from him, and he dances, he steps, he twists, he turns. Question is, did he touch it down? Referee just reassuring Elliot Keir that she's in control of this situation. Square in the air. Let's hear from Adam G again.
Video ref to director, we've got a live decision of no try. Can I please get all available angles for grounding here? Nice and slow here, thank you. Okay, so at that point, I've got 2 hands under the ball. Yep, whatever other angles you have, thank you. Ball was up at that point. We have Welsh hands under there. Yeah, nice and slow here again, thank you. Okay, play all the way through, balls up, hands underneath, hand underneath.
What a tackle.
Yeah, I'll finish on this angle, so just go through here, nice and slow. Still under, yep. Thank you. Based on all available angles, I've made my decision. Thank you.
That's brilliant by Joe Burke, isn't it?
It certainly is. Starting at loose forward tonight, but almost operating like a fullback on that play there to deny Tui Lolohea what looked like a certain score. I thought on the naked eye that he got it down, but the correct decision there from the referee and the video ref. They survive once more, to Wales.
Tonga look much more dangerous when they move the ball. When they move the ball and have that second phase, Tui Lolohea looking more dangerous. Tessinu scored the try in the previous set. When they get wider and they move the ball, they look like the Tonga we was expecting to see tonight.
So Wales are tasked with clearing their lines again. Williams, the winger, putting his shoulder into it. 3 tackles gone. They've reach the 30. Tonga's defensive line is up quickly as Walker comes stoutly forward again. Gets up plays. Fossard kicking out a dummy half.
What's the chase like on this?
Tessinu picks up and is immediately in full flight to get back as far downfield as he possibly can, but Welsh hearts are beating strong. They're up there. Super.
Just at the moment, I don't think the kick from Fossard at 9 is really working. They're sitting 3 fullbacks back, the wingers are going back, sat there. I think they've got to move the ball, bring the wingers up, and then, you know, look to make a competition at the end of it, because, as you see now, they're already at the 40. You know, this will be a competitive kick at the worst for Tonga.
Sonny looking to his left-hand side, finding Kolo Motangi. He's a handful. Big, athletic, second row forward. Luke. Here's Amoni, Junior Amoni, and Lolohei's pass. It's just gone backwards. News knocks it on. So good effort from the Welsh defence again, has its dividends.
Yeah, it certainly was, wasn't it? It's just that final pass there. We see all the spine, 9, 6, 7 and 1 combined. And it's that pass out the back for Lolohea. Knew he has to really take that in, if I'm honest. It's not really a difficult take, is it? But it perhaps just the eye line of the Welsh left edge.
It's just not clicked for the spine in this tournament for Tonga just yet. I think it will, but at the moment they just look to be a little bit clunky.
We saw it in the first half as well there, Kev, didn't we? A couple of shots down this right edge, a couple of mistakes as well. It's just not quite stuck for them at the moment. But take nothing away from Welsh's defence.
Well, the way things are seated at the moment, it would seem, and this is far from certain at this stage, but you'd fancy that Tonga would be in the quarterfinals against either Samoa or France. So that's going to be interesting down the line. Tonga still have another match to negotiate. They'll get the ball back here. They've got to play the Cook Islands in Middlesbrough next Sunday. That's going to be an interesting scenario as well. A city, a town and a stadium that's not used to hosting rugby league.
Tom Hopkins there with his first touch of the ball. It's not really ideal, that, is it? Just drops the ball cold with a scrum right in the middle of the halfway line.
So head and feed for the Tongans, and a chance now to have 6 good plays inside their opponent's half. To try and break them down again. Katoa with the initial carry. Wrestled back, slowed down. Into the middle, it's taken by Murdoch-Masila, Ben Murdoch-Masila.
Behind the line here, behind the line.
His 14th appearance for Tonga tonight. It's the vast majority are off the bench. He's only come on. He's only started, I think, 3 of those games. And Tonga have lost the ball here. Yep, not a steal, it's a loss. So again, Wales, with their backs to the walls, have managed to come up trumps.
It's just too many errors, isn't there, tonight for Tonga? You can't be happy with this performance. Elliot Keir with his arms all over that, but he loses the ball, does he? David Fafita.
I mean, we talk this up as a World Cup where there are 2 new nations in terms of challenging the big 3, Australia, New Zealand and England. Samoa and Tonga. What have you made? I'll ask you, Ken, because you played against Tonga at the last World Cup and you saw how powerful they were then. What have you made so far, and we have to underline so far, of both Tonga and Samoa?
If I'm brutally honest, I've been disappointed by both. I think, you know, Samoa, we all expected so much from them in the first game, and England just, you know, walked through that side. Yeah, they were much better against Greece, but I'm not sure there was much opposition there. And then against Papua New Guinea, I thought Tonga were very, very lucky to get the result. And then tonight, you know, Wales, we was expecting on the book is about 50 points, and you know, this has been a really tough match. So yeah, I've been disappointed with both nations, but I do think they'll get their act together.
Well, I was going to say, World Cups, you don't start with your A game and keep it up, do you? You build and build, and maybe those 2 nations are going to build into it later down the line.
Well, they're going to have to, aren't they? Kev mentioned it about this, you know, Wales expected to lose here by 50 points. They come into this game at 100 to 1 to get a win. That's another bit of good footwork there from Anthony Walker.
Fossard had a dummy half going to that left-hand side. Olds with a high kick.
It's a great kick.
Going to be taken safely enough. The chase has to be good, and it's not a bad one. Just an extra few yards nibbled out there after contact, but Tonga again starting from deep, and one or two of their big fellas just slow behind the play the ball, conserving a bit of energy, fatigue for them being felt.
Look, let's not forget that there's been 6 changes here tonight from that side against Papua New Guinea. This Tongan side will be better for going forward, no doubt about that. But I mentioned earlier, it's very difficult just to click form on and just to make all those passes stick.
A lot of the games mentally that have been going in as underdogs as well against, you know, when they beat Australia, Great Britain, New Zealand, they were always the underdogs. It's a completely different mentality when they come in as favourites. So I think we're finding, you know, this is a new role for Tonga, rightfully so. They're building into this competition.
Lollahair with a kick downfield. Rhys Williams underneath it, readjusts the feet, falls over backwards, but he's got the ball.
Dramatic.
That's the important thing. And out of dummy half, it's taken again by Keir.
He's led well, hasn't he, as captain tonight?
A real captain's not, Kev, I agree.
He's no relation, by the way, to Coach John Keir, no relation. I think there is a distant relationship in a family tree that his dad, Gareth Keir, once researched, but there's no real strong family ties. Wales having to do some hard work again here. Curtis Davis on the field. Kick away from Josh Ralph. Little kindly bobble for Katoa on that far side.
I think they're still in fourth gear, Tonga there, but I just watched Keenan Kolomatangi then put some kick pressure on, and you know, he did put pressure on, but it wasn't a kick sprint, it wasn't, you know, real intent. I just think that's what they're doing at the minute. It's almost like they've just done enough.
Yeah, I agree with that, Kev. I think their attitude right from sort of inside 5 minutes, they had all that weight of possession and they just looked a bit laboured, and they backed it up with a couple of penalties and errors, and of course Wales took the lead at that point. I certainly agree.
With a carry, sturdy carry from him. 6 more because of what happened after the tackle was complete. That's not what the Welsh need to do as Fafita carries on with some purpose. He's sunk less than 9 away, and the Tongans only have 5 tackles to have a go here. They won't need all of those because Tupou is in at the corner for his 2nd of the night. The Welsh gave them a leg up with that 6 again, and Tupou takes advantage by climbing in at the corner, and Tonga now up to a 26-6 lead.
Well, it all came about with the 6 again, wasn't it? That little lift there on Fanua Blake, and it's just more pressure, and you've got to keep this Tongan side away from your line, because as they shift the ball here, it just finds its way out to Talakai, who just simply supplies that pass to Tupou. He's in an acre of space with no one out there as well, and it's just great play, isn't it, from the Tongan. This is a bit more like it. Tessie, you on to Talakai, who finds Tupou there. Just gets on the outside of his opposite number. There's no one at home, and it's as simple as the put downs for him tonight.
That's probably the first time Kyle Evans just hasn't got it right. He's backing off, and left it a little bit too late, and that's probably being harsh on Evans because he's ultimately the last man in the link. But yeah, that's the first time the combination of Amone and the fullback now have just got Talakai and Daniel Tupou away for the try. Fantastic bit of play by Tonga. Yeah, they're warming up now.
Good shape from them, wasn't it?
So Tui Lollahair settles himself again here. He's already kicked 3 out of 3. Tupaheo was the goal kicker for the first try, but Lollahair has taken over since and has done a pretty nifty job. Him and Jason Tamalolo, by the way, were gifted some land in Tonga as a reward for their exploits in the 2017 World Cup. So he's a landowner now back in Tonga because of his abilities on the field, but they won't be giving him anything for that goal kick.
No, he might want to put
I think he might have to give a little bit of land back again after that.
It's a shocker from him. But take nothing away from this. Just look at the timing, the depth, the pass selection, the execution is all there. And Tupou scores his 2nd try of the evening.
What a difference he'll make, by the way, Jason Taumalolo, when he comes back in this side.
Yeah, he's the superstar of this whole team, isn't he?
Could he still have the effect that he had in 2017? Is he still up there at that level?
I think he does, but I really do think he does. And it's not just what he does on the field, it's what he gives confidence when he sits at the side of these Tongan players, knowing, you know, he's a superstar. And the confidence they get from that.
Will Hopoate's another one, isn't he, who's not played so far because of muscular injury.
Well, I think what Hopoate does, he gives them that experience in that key position, where at the minute they're all very athletic and they're very eager. But Tuilala here needs someone just calming influence at the back.
And maybe that comes through Will Hopoate, doesn't it? You know, as these games go further and further on, like Kev mentioned, you're going to need experience and people with class, aren't you? And Will Hopoate, well, he's been proven that all throughout his career. Had a wonderful time here at St Helens as well last season, when he finally got fit, and at the end of the year, there's another chance here.
Ripping a few holes in here, Conrad Hurrell! Ball's knocked down, Wales escape. What's the referee looking at?
Well, he's done all the hard work there, Hurrell.
First knock on, Wales get the ball back.
I think she's been fantastic tonight, Casey Badger, the referee.
Yeah. Watch this here from Conrad Hurrell. He does everything right, doesn't he?
Just
Hurricane, but just tries to do that little flick pass there.
He beats the line, and then when he gets through, he passes the ball to what are you doing, Conrad?
Even Tui's even thinking what you're doing. Just go.
Let's get our heads in, guys. Come on.
I think it was an expectation when he signed for Saints that he might be playing a bit back row, a bit of the second row, and maybe a bit of an impact player. But he played most of the season on the centre. 27 appearances for St Helens this last year, so he had a much better season than he might have expected before the competition began here in the Super League.
And got himself a new one-year deal off the back of it, of course, part of that side that won that grand final. 4 in a row for them. There's a penalty here.
Both centres very similar, aren't they? Talakai and Conrad Hurrell. You know, they're both the square, and they can run so quick. It's so difficult when you're out wide, one-on-one with big, quick men. Tonga have got that in abundance.
But the Welsh can hold their heads up high here.
Yeah.
Heartbreak against the Cook Islands, the game they really needed to win, and lost in agonising circumstances. And there was an expectation they were going to come here tonight and be steamrolled, and they haven't been. They have been beaten, but not by the margin we might have imagined at this stage.
That 5-minute period before half-time just really hurt Wales. Apart from that, they've been sensational.
Antrobus. Curtis Davis, the hooker from Workington, in at dummy half. Moving along the line towards Josh Ralph. Kafusi was a solid object.
He's been good for Wales, hasn't he? Tonight and last week as well.
He's hit him hard, and I think it's legal. He's hit him and he's put him on the floor.
Stayed here. Here's Walker. Walker driving it in. The Welsh have a bit of a platform to build from here. Can they lift their spirits with another score here? Welsh voices calling loudly, but suddenly silenced by that handling error.
The pass was just in front of Olds, wasn't it? He sticks out a left hand and it comes off him, and then flicks on to Antrobus as well, who he doesn't have any idea what's happening there either. Just that little bit of lack of execution there on the end of that.
I tell you what, one group of people who have not lacked energy tonight are the Tongan supporters.
How loud are they for a small group?
And they've just settled down now. Commentators curse. I was hoping to have a look at them bouncing up and down, but they've just settled down for a minute. Maybe they are running out of energy at last. Well, that is something that comes with a Tongan team on the field, is that level of enthusiasm and passion off it. Just a little pocket of them here tonight. 40,000 or so in Auckland 5 years ago. But now the Welsh are trying to find their voice. Tonga making progress again. Here's Sonny Luke waiting patiently. Dummy half, the hooker delivers. Taken on by Amoni, Junior Amoni. Now Lolohea with a kick towards the corner. There's a chase on here. Akins is watching it. Oh, it's flicked up brilliantly.
No way.
Brilliantly. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What a sensational try that was. All the laws of physics disproved in one incredible moment of rugby league. The Tongans have just scored a very special try, if it's given. We're going to the video wrap.
Can we go back to the kick, please, and freeze it on the boot, and then we'll follow it down the touchline with a slow motion down the touchline to see if he stays in the field of play. I'm going to need the I need the wide shot, please. I can't tell if he's onside from that. Yeah, just freeze it on the boot, please. Yep, okay, so right side kick chaser onside, play through. So I need a camera down the sideline here, nice and slow. That's been passed backwards, but I need one down that light touchline. Thank you, nice and slow. Can we go back on that again, please? I just need to see if the ball touches the touchline. Okay. Yeah, have you got one front on as well, please? Okay, back. Can we go back and freeze frame it, please? Just back a few frames. Just, yep, go forward now. Forward, slow, 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 slow. Okay, so just there, part of the ball has touched the touchline. I've seen all available angles to make my decision. Thank you.
Oh, video referee, you might have called it right, but couldn't you have called it wrong?
That would have been better than Matt Burton's for Australia. That was sensational.
Unbelievable.
Millimetres there.
Cooler, flying across.
What about his effort on this kick chase there?
Look at this.
To chase that ball, then to have the skill about him to do that. But it was just millimetres on that line, Kev.
How quick was he to get to that ball?
Let's just pretend he scored and stick it out in social media land. It'll go viral. But the try's denied by a millimetre.
That's the best no try I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Well, that was a special moment. That's what these Tongan players are capable of. And now the Welsh are trying to provide a bit of magic themselves, but Daniel Tupou has just knocked it forward. So Wales will get the ball back. Scrum down, middle of the field. Anthony Walker's encouraging his players, his teammates, to get around him. Come on, let's lift ourselves. There are
a couple of metres behind the line there,
still 13 minutes to play.
I think because of the effort they've put in as well, I think we get a cheer similar to when Jamaica scored their first try. I think there'll be something similar tonight if, after all the effort that the Welsh have put in, they get another reward and a try before the end of the game.
They deserve one, don't they, Kev?
They do.
They deserve one, but at the moment they're just playing the game from the wrong part of the field. And so often if there was a heat map on this second half, there'd be nothing, would there, from 30 metres away from Tonga's line. Tonga have kept them so far away that they've not really had much opportunity.
Short pass, trying to work it through. Tom Hopkins has knocked it on. So Tonga will get it back again. By the way, the tackle comparison, the numbers we have at the moment, Tonga have made 218 tackles. Wales have made 330.
Yeah, and they've
330 tackles.
Yeah, the effort that they've put in, you can, forgive them a little bit for the errors and a couple of missed tackles, because they've turned up time and time again. But over 100 tackles extra is huge.
It's massive, that, isn't it? And it will take its toll inside the next sort of 10 minutes.
So they will be, without doubt, the team that's made more tackles than any other team in this tournament, the Welsh, because they were the biggest effort in that department in the first round of matches. Tonga looking to build again here, looking to sparkle in the dying embers of this game. Watueka, there you go, confirmation. 110 in 111 more tackles they've had to make than their opponents. Lollahea spins it out, another missed ball. Rhys Williams was just sensing a moment of glory there as he came sprinting forward. It's not a knock-on, it went backwards. So Tonga keep possession. For Noah Blake. Last play. One more play to go. They numbered up left, so they put a bit of a dummy on with that little move to the right-hand side and a diving flick away.
Clever play from Luke.
The Welsh.
Yeah, clever little play. Gets out from 9, skirts across the field, just looking for someone to drop underneath him. No one there, he just forces a little kick in.
Well, history made tonight. Casey Badger, the first woman to referee in a men's World Cup game, and there's a proud husband, Gavin Badger, who, when he found out that she was refereeing, jumped on an aeroplane, flew here, and I think got here a matter of hours ago. He's a referee as well. Didn't go the 10 from the dropout, so penalty right in front of the sticks for Tonga.
And it's been this part of the field, Dave, where the Welsh have struggled, haven't they? Just through really hard, powerful carries, either getting a quick play of the ball or crashing over themselves. But you'd imagine they'll lay one here and there'll be some sort of shift play. It looks like they're loading up on this left-hand side.
Sonny Luke will collect it out of dummy half and flicks it left. It's straightened up and made honest by Noah Blake. Whoa, it took some effort for the Welsh to pull him back there because Noah Blake was going for it. Back it comes from Luke. Luke spins it to that right-hand side. Fafita puts the step on, bullies his way out of one tackle, tries to drag his way out of another, does get the offload away. But the Welsh are working hard. It's a lost cause, it's a losing cause, but they're still working hard. Heart and soul they're putting into this. Lollahea again now. Back it comes to Amoni. Amoni out to Talakai. Talakai's pass away, and Tupou is in for a hat-trick. Daniel Tupou. That took some finishing, but a great build-up. And Tonga now are gliding to victory.
There was a super set, wasn't it, from the Tongans? They just took them on a bit of a journey, laid around the left post, and then had a crack out wide through Fafita. And then just let it all fly, didn't they? To Lollahea with a pass over his head, gives it out to Amon, the pass there to Talakai, the catch, the pass, the pump, the draw, the 2-on-1, and a try once more for Tupou.
And the longer that combination is going to play together, the better it's got and the better it's getting. You know, they've got power, they've got pace, and they've got timing. Like you say, Kyle, the timing of the pass. He passes, you know, he passes too early, he'd slide off there, Evans. He holds him in just long enough to get him in for his third.
Evans has done so well tonight, but just that little pump of the ball just keeps him disinterested, doesn't it? And the space is made out wide. Christian Wolf knows that there's bigger and better challenges ahead. But this second half has certainly been a much more improved version of Tonga. I do believe that there's more levels in them for sure.
So Sio Talakai's taken over the kicking after that awful effort from Tui Lollahea. I don't think Tui wants to give any more land back, so he's given Talakai the chance to take this conversion. The Cronulla Sharks man, the giant three-quarter, just had a terrific season with Cronulla as well. His best try-scoring year with 7 tries, and he can kick a goal. No, he can't. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Oh, the flags were going down. I thought he'd gone underneath, but it's not. It's gone over. It's a great kick. Great kick. 36.
Just watch this play unfold one more time. Watch the little roll there from Talakai. Tupou. Just see it here, there. Look, just that slight delay. We're just seeing all 3 of his tries this evening, and it was this last one.
They all look remarkably similar, don't they?
Yeah, it's perfect centre play by Sio Talakai. No, he's got him away, but the winger, what a finisher he is.
That left edge has been lethal tonight when it's needed.
Tell you what, there's going to be a chase for top try scorer at this World Cup, isn't there? There's a few who are already racking up the scores in these early games.
The Fox with 5 on Friday night.
Yeah. England have got a few. Dom Young in particular.
Maiden from Italy, the winger, he's on 4.
Tonga looking for more. How long to go? 7 minutes left to play, so plenty of time for them to get some more mystique
His
and
left edge
magic
again.
into that play. Here comes Tupou. He's after a fourth. Has to put it back on the inside for Talakai, who's immediately surrounded by willing Welsh bodies. Kohler, the dummy half. Amone. Strained up by Fanoa Blake. Offload, keeps it alive. They're looking to get in amongst it, but the ball has been left behind. Wales have it back. Knock on by Wales on the ground.
Yeah, there was an offload there that came out, and the Tongan chasing players, well, I don't think they touched it. There's just an error there. I think it's Joe Burke.
They just look spent, don't they, now, of energy. You mentioned it, Kyle, of this last 10 minutes or so. You know, this is where, from all them tackles, I think they're up to nearly 360 now.
Okay, I think you two have chosen player of the match. Who have you gone for?
Yeah, look, there's been a whole host of players that have played particularly well tonight, but down that left edge, what Tessie knew was incredible tonight. Talakai, but the man who's the Kazoo player of the match, Daniel Tupou, a hat-trick here tonight. 158 metres made as well with his kick returns. It hasn't just been his try-scoring ability, it's his all-round wing play tonight, Dave.
Well, we're going to have a look at him in just a second, but in the meantime, we'll focus on what's happening here, because Fanoa Blake, Tonga close again. Trying to cap this performance with another try. Fafita just hurls that big body of his at the line again, but the Welsh stand firm. Sonny Luke has a look around. Now it comes left. Amone. Lolahea skips it out. Tupou. Well, they missed the man out. I think it had gone via Talakai. He might have had a chance of scoring. Instead, they're held up, maybe only momentarily. This is Kohler. Last tackle is the next. Luke scampers off. Sonny Luke just short. Just short.
Do you know what? That is brilliant defence, isn't it, for Wales in the context of this game where we're at.
So there's confirmation that Daniel Tupou is the Kazoo player of the match.
Just that effort there from Wales at 32-6 down. A lot of tricky players coming at you. They answered everything. I think the Welsh have been, you know, look, a 32 points to 6 loss. It is a bit of a beating, but take nothing away. I don't think that scoreline really does truly reflect the picture, does it, Kev?
Well, not the effort, and I think sometimes you don't get what you deserve. I think Elliot Keir, Kyle Evans, you know, Rhys Williams, there's so many people in this and individuals in this Welsh side who have stood up and played, you know, better than they were expected to, better than normal. You know, a lot of these are part-time players. Like you said, Elliot Keir, the captain, is a fireman. And he's been terrific tonight.
Kyle Evans, he deserves special mention as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, great game.
So he brings it back towards the middle. Forsyth's going to be caught in possession. And in trying to keep it alive,
well,
they
Dave,
lost the ball.
I think there's one more try coming here. You know, they threatened the last...
against Tupou either.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Look out for this big shift now, Lola. He is talking out wide to Kafusi. Watch this shift here, right to left. Here we come.
3 minutes to go. The Welsh desperate not to concede again. The Tongans desperate to entertain. Here they come, Daniel Tupou. Well, I'm not sure if this... I think there was an obstruction in the build-up here.
I think it's Kafusi on ground.
Not gone through, it would have been a penalty for Wales. The fact it has gone through, the referee says, well, let's go to the video referee. So let's hear from the video referee.
Video referee to director, can we please review the last play? We're looking at a possible obstruction in the lead-up. So the ball's caught on the outside there. We're looking at the lead runner. He makes contact with the Wales player and affects his ability to continue to defend. Thank you, I've seen all available angles to make my decision.
Yeah, Talakai there, the number 3 for Tonga. He just has to get through that line, doesn't he? And he takes his opposite number out. It is a penalty.
Yeah. Would have been Daniel Tupou's easiest try of the night, but there's a reason why it would have been the easiest try of the night.
Well, he could have had 6 or 7 tries tonight. We make it sat up here, Daniel Tupou.
Well, Kyle Evans has stopped a couple. Dead set stopped a couple. They've blown one there, so yeah, 6 or 7 tries, Daniel Tupou. It looks really good for Tonga when they line up on this right side and fling it to the left to Tupou and Talakai. Such a threat. And Kafusi as well, the lead runs that he does. He's been great all night too.
Into the final 2.5 minutes, the Welsh will hope. Elliot Keir will try. Tonga's defence is good enough. Conrad Hurrell, who I think was down with a bit of cramp a little bit earlier, wasn't he, Conrad Hurrell? But he's up there now, getting himself involved in the defensive effort. Curtis Davies, he is on for the bench. Here's another big drive forward. Was at that time. Now it's Ralph. Those plaintive cries of Wales, Wales. And it's a knock-on, it's a handling error. It's getting a little scrappy now.
It's a nice little play back on the inside there. That extra pass, that extra offload, it was never on.
One more game left for each of these in the group stages. Wales against Papua New Guinea next week in Doncaster. Kicking a chase here off the boot of Lolohea. Chase is on by Katoa. Williams got back and engineered enough.
Bit of space here.
Of a touch on there for Akins to pick up, and suddenly there's a bit of an advancement from Evans. Kyle Evans keeps it alive. Here comes Dalton Grant, and Wales have done well to get themselves beyond halfway.
Big chance. Minute left, big chance to score some points.
I think this place might get even noisier if they can get themselves over the line. Antrobus up to play. Olds. Good pick-up, good pick-up.
He's going to be in trouble for this. Fanua Blake has hit, I think it's Olds straight in the jaw with his shoulder. He could be in trouble for the future of this competition.
We don't quite get to see on that one there, do we? It's the two players before. It's this here. Olds travels across the line. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, Kev. That's fair play, that for me. Yes, it's a little bit late off the ball, but I don't think there's any real malice or intent there around it.
He's on the arm. It's okay.
Yeah, it's in the shoulder, isn't it? It still hurts. Said by a typical front rower there as well, Kyle. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, no. He's committed to that, isn't he? Yes, it is a penalty, but I don't think there's any more than that.
Yeah, and shoulder surgery. No, it was fair, it was lower. It was lower. I thought he was hitting him straight in the melon when I seen it first glance.
Well, it'd be disappointing though for Ollie Holtz, wherever he was hit, because ends the night on a low, and there'll be some concern as well ahead of that next game against Papua New Guinea, if he can get himself right for that.
It doesn't get any easy for the Welsh, does it?
No.
Papua New Guinea.
That will be physical. That will be very physical, won't it?
Well, I've played against Papua New Guinea twice and I've never got past half-time. Been knocked out twice.
Played them in a quarter-final, didn't you, in 2017? We were concerned for you that day.
I can't remember it, Dave.
Curtis Davies out of dummy half. This is Ralph. Ralph with a kick. Should be guarded well
Danger.
enough. Not only has Katoa got back there, but he's trying to launch the attack straight away, isn't he? Kola. Well, they're capable of piercing this Welsh armour at this range and maybe going the distance, but well, the hooter sounds a little early by our reckoning, but the hooter sounds, and that brings to an end a victory that will carry Tonga through to the quarterfinals. The Welsh know now it's probably just a mountain too far for them to climb to get into the knockout stages. They'll be lifting their spirits for that final game against Papua New Guinea. They gave a great account of themselves tonight. In that first 35 minutes, they were dreaming about something special here.
Yeah, they certainly were. A 6-4 lead as well, but those two tries just before half-time, and then the one subsequently just at the start of the second half just killed them, didn't it? Plenty of effort, but the quality, well, there's two different sides there, isn't there? You know, that's plain to see. A star-studded side from the NRL in the Tongans, and Wales there. What an effort from them.
So, Tonga have got the job done. A 32 points to 6 win against a brave Welsh effort. Their second win of the tournament. Scoreline perhaps not telling the full story of the efforts the Welsh put in here tonight.